Hi, Elena. How excited are you to be in Lithuania with this group of players?
I'm really, really excited. I'm really looking forward to the game tomorrow. I think it's been great so far. We've had a good session today. The girls seems to be excited, happy. So yeah, I look forward to the challenge tomorrow.
How much have you been able to scout the opposition for tomorrow's game, and what are you expecting from them in terms of specific challenges?
We've been scouting a lot. I would say that obviously I have a staff that I trust, and we've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes when it comes to all the other games that we need to scout. But we've done a great job. We've gone through KuPS, both collectively and individual report with the players. So I think that we have a pretty good idea of what they're going to do tomorrow.
You've also talked about how difficult the players have made it so far this season with the competitiveness to pick the starting 11. Do you have an idea now? Have you picked your starting 11 already for tomorrow?
The start 11 is out, yes.
Okay. Just finally from me, just has everyone travelled, and is there any squad updates on fitness for availability tomorrow?
I would say that we have 3 players home, but the rest of them are here right now.
Who are the players who are home, the ones that we would expect who are already carrying injuries?
We have Chloe Logan home, we have Luana home, and then we have Craigie home.
Elena, can I just ask how big a game this is in your managerial career?
I don't really think so much about like how big this game is, since I've coached many different teams and many different games. I've been a part of Champions League before, round of 16, but I think this game is more special because with the situation I'm in, with the love I have for this club, for the team, for the players, it feels excited every time I'm gonna go into a new game. But obviously this is a time for us to show ourselves and make sure that we have a great game tomorrow and getting more successful.
You were the first manager to lead Celtic to a title in May. You could be the first manager to lead Celtic into the group stages of the Champions League. What would it mean to you to do that?
I would not say that I'm the first coach to win a title. I think Fran won titles before winning the cups, but obviously I'm the first one maybe that won the league. But for me, it's about like, I don't know. I don't think I should say so much about myself. Like I'm here to write success with the club and the players. And that's the most important for me, that what we do together and we're successful together. So I'm just excited to get better as a team and keep growing and write more history, hopefully.
You would be one of the big favourites to progress in this group because you've gone in through the champions path. Are you comfortable being seen as the favourites?
I don't know, like we haven't really talked about being the favorites. The only thing we've been focusing on of what we need to do to win the game. And if we're favorites or not, like I've not put any thoughts about that. The most important thing for me is like how we're gonna perform, how we're gonna play the game, and hopefully we do what we need to do and win the game.
Elena, I just wanted to ask, how important do you see European football is in terms of growing this team and evolving this team into what you want it to be? How crucial is it that European football, Champions League football, is a part of that?
I think it's very important because, like I said, when we won the league, this is the start of something new. Like we want to do more. We want to grow as a team, as a club. Like we want to make sure that, obviously, we wrote history, but we want to do more. And this is just a start of it. And hopefully we show up and we play the type of football that we can play and hurt KuPS the best way possible and progress into, the next game and then focus on that. But for me, it's all about like how can we progress as a team? How can we get better? And how can we make sure that Celtic is in the European map? Because for me, we have a bright future ahead of us and we can grow so much as a club. and as a team in the women's side.
Of course. In terms of the overall growth, in terms of the overall team, how confident are you that this squad is ready, not only to just make it to the group stages, but really compete, really lay down a marker as to this is what Celtic are going to now be for the next, few years at least?
I think obviously like where we are right now, I think that I'm very confident in like the squad I have, the strength we have, and the potential we have, and that's something that we're trying to like get better at every day. But obviously, like where we are right now and where we want to be, it's gonna take some time to build that. But right now, we're building that strong foundation to make sure that we can progress and make sure that we can, make a make our own mark. Like this is us, and this is what we stand for, and hopefully we can start tomorrow and then show what a great team we are.
So are you just excited to are you excited to give your squad a real test on the European stage?
If I'm excited, I'm super excited, mostly because I feel like it's been very early in the season, and I think we've been growing as a team, and I know that we're champions and everything around, but I still think that we can be better and better and better, and that's something I've seen lately, and I just I know that this experience is going to make us stronger and better as a team as well. So I'm very excited for the challenge, and I'm very excited to see how the players are going to take that challenge on, because I'm very confident in that I have a special group that I coach, and I can't wait to see what we're going to do tomorrow.
And what's the mood like in the squad right now? Are the players feeling that excitement?
Kelly? For me, like it's obviously like I see them happy, I see them excited, I see them that they're passionate, they're hungry. Like you can see that they feel like this is going to be a great opportunity for us to, to make a mark and see like, well, Celtic is a great team.
And yeah, you've spoken before about how you really wanted to, have a real shot at the Champions League. Do you feel that you and the girls are now ready to do that?
Yes, I am.
And just just the whole time you're at Celtic, whether it's this season or future, will Champions League football always be something that, you're going to put a focus on, something that you really want to progress the team in?
I think domestically, like I've said before, we want to dominate, and then we really want to make sure that we do well out in Europe as well. So this is just the start of trying to make that mark and make sure that we are trying to show what we want to do in the future as well. Because European football, that's something that we want to be out and challenge and make sure that we can be one of the top teams. But like I said, we're building the foundation right now, and that's something we want to progress to and make history, if I can say that.
How excited are you to be back in the Champions League?
I'm pretty buzzing. It's just an indication of how well last season went, not just to be in the Champions League this year, but to be going down the Champions route. So, it's an honour to play in it, but it's an honour to play in it because it's just a reminder that we're champions of Scotland.
Looking to recreate some of the excitement of that moment last season where you scored the goal in the first ever win in the Champions League?
I would love to score the goal again tomorrow, but to be honest, I don't care. If we win, then I will be just as buzzing. That moment last year was special, but it was special for the group, and yeah, whether it's me recreating it this year or whether it's any of the other 10 players on the pitch at that time, I won't care, as long as it's in the back of the net and it's in the back of the opposition's net.
What advice as captain have you been giving to the players who, there'll be players in this squad who have experience of this environment and players who don't? What have you been giving advice to your squad?
I think so far, genuinely, like what Elena said, nothing on top of what I would usually give. It's just another game. We've done similar analysis to what we would do if we were playing against a team back home. If anything tomorrow, if I feel it's needed, then I will use my experience to help guide players through. But it's a strong, fairly experienced quality group, and unless I feel like I need to use the status or the experience I've had, then I won't. There'll obviously be chat in the huddle, and that's maybe my moment. But like I say, I think the group are ready, whether I stamp a mark or not. I think this group are ready, and I don't think I've had to use it yet. If needed, tomorrow I can give support. But I have absolute faith in every single player that we've got here.
Kelly, I spoke to you before once, and you were saying that moment, that goal in the Champions League was the highlight, the pinnacle of your Celtic career. Now, it's probably been eclipsed by what happened at the end of last season, but just what would it mean to you to take this team into the group stages of the Champions League? It'd be the first Celtic team to do it. What would it mean to you as captain to achieve that?
Any success that we have with this club means everything to me. I love making history with the girls. I love travelling with the girls, I love playing with the girls, I love spending time with the girls, and the success that we get on the top of it just means the world. We obviously know that won't be easy, so on top of it meaning everything, it would mean that we've done really, really well. And I think after what we managed to do last year, it would just really be the icing on the cake. Last year was amazing, and if we could take the Champions League one step further, then I could almost say I've ticked, if not I could say I've ticked absolutely everything off with the club.
The last season you were so close, you were out in a penalty shootout. I think, if memory serves me correct, it was an 11-10 defeat just in that second game. You were particularly close to going through the playoff round, and you had gone through the non-champions route. Does the experience of that bode well just for these games now, tomorrow night and then on Saturday?
Yes. I want to say I don't see us conceding a goal with the last kick of the ball the way that we did last year in extra time. It hurt last year when we got put out the way that we got put out, but everybody that was involved will have absolutely learnt from that. We were potentially a little bit naive, but like I say, I don't expect that to happen again, and I think everybody that was there and was involved will do absolutely everything in their power to make sure that it doesn't. The ones that weren't there, if we get to that situation and we are 2 minutes from the end of time and we know what happened last year, we will make sure that they are aware that they have to play their part in making sure that does not happen again, because it hurt. But yeah, it's a moment that I'm sure everybody that was involved in will give 110% to make sure it doesn't repeat.
Do you think you need to be that bit more streetwise just in European football?
I think you're playing against top opposition, and so when games are close and when legs are tired, I don't know if streetwise is the right words, but I don't think we're not streetwise. I think last year it was a fairly unfortunate event, but potentially yes, we've got to be smart in these moments. If it is a case of putting the ball in the corner and stopping the opposition get it to see it the last 30 seconds, then we need to do it. We didn't do it last year and it stung us. So if that's what it takes tomorrow, then as much as we like to play good football, if it gets to the end of the game and we need to do something like that, I'm pretty sure we'll get the message from the side and we'll take action on the park to make sure that we don't get hurt with that happened last year.
Kelly, do you feel personally that sense of unfinished business in the Champions League after last season as well?
Because we were so close, yes, but it's a new season. My unfinished business, if we're going to speak about last year, was the league, and we did that last year. The Champions League is, like I've already said, the Champions League is a reward for doing so well in the league. So I probably don't have the same heart and bitterness towards it, but yeah, it's the way that it happened last year, it did hurt. And so if you want to call it unfinished business, I won't argue with you, but like I say, my least favourite unfinished business from the season before was the league, and we corrected that at the end of last season, so hopefully we correct the Champions League too.
If you could take us into the mind of a player, if you would, obviously you've had that great high of the last minute win to win the league. In terms of the low of that Champions League and not getting through, How long does that take to get over? Do you ever really get over it? Or is it only really by ensuring that it happens this year that you actually get over it? What's that mindset like as the Celtic captain?
The mindset is that you get over it immediately because you've got another league game in about 4 days after you get back. And I think we had that last year. We had Hearts on a horrible Wednesday night at Airdrie. It was a very, very difficult game, which we ended up winning 3-2. And if you look at the end of the season, it was probably very important. So the mindset as a player is game by game. And it really can't be any different. If we didn't go over the Champions League last year, even the difficulty in the way that it happened, if we didn't go over it, we would never have won. We would never have won the league. So we didn't start that game against Hearts particularly well, but you really saw the strength in the squad to pull through and win 3-2. I think it was in the end. So yeah, you can't have a hangover as a footballer, or your whole season is ruined by one moment, and you can't let that one moment define it.
Just finally from me, Kelly, you mentioned the strength of a squad. As captain, when you look around that dressing room and you see now the experience added to the quality that you have in this group, how confident are you as captain that not only is the group stages a real possibility, but like we said to Elena earlier, the marker laid down that Celtic, warning the rest of Europe, basically, Celtic are a team not to be messed with and a team that want to really kick on in Europe. How confident are you that's the case with the squad that you guys have?
I'm very confident because I think we've got a really good mix of experience, of youth with fire to do well, of talent across the board, of pace, of intelligence. I think we've got a really good mix of it all. So if things aren't working for whatever reason, I think we've got an answer in whatever answer is needed. Like I say, whether that is physical attributes, mental attributes, I think we've got a mixture of everything. And it helps your confidence going into these games, because you know if things don't start your way, then there's answers on the pitch and off the pitch.
Do you think that the fact that the team drew against Hibs on Friday makes the players hungrier for a result going into this one?
Probably similar to my previous answer, no. I think if we'd have won on Friday, the hunger going into this game would have been the exact same. As a Celtic player and as a Celtic squad, you want to win every single game that you play in, whether that is against Hibs or whether that is in the Scottish Cup against a team from a couple of divisions below us, whether that is in the Champions League. It doesn't matter. You've got to be hungry to win. And if you're not hungry to win, then you don't deserve to be in a Celtic jersey. Do you reckon that good performances in these European games could really give you momentum for coming back to Scotland to push on in the league and cup competitions? Yeah, I think if we can put in good performances, probably similar to how we did last year. I thought both performances in the Champions League were good last year. I know we went out in the end, but the performances were good. And when you're playing in the Champions League, no matter who you're playing against, there's no easy game. It's the Champions League for a reason. So you're able to test yourself against very good opposition and take the good performances against very good opposition back to the league and make sure that you continue and you grow on them. And it must have been good to have been seen off by the fans of a home game before heading off to Lithuania. Yeah, but I have to say I think our fans make every game feel like a home game. So as much as it was nice to be at Airdrie and to see quite a lot of people along on Friday night, no matter where we go in the country, we get a good following. And they're loud and they cheer, and it usually feels like a home game, whether we're in Aberdeen or in Ayr.